Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking through a couple player props I like on Prizepicks for today's NBA slate on Sunday, May the 14th. Now for Sunday today, we have just one game, but it is Game 7 of the Celtics and Sixers series. So this is obviously a very big, very important game. Winner of this game will advance to the Eastern Conference Finals and will play the Heat. Loser of this game, obviously, your season's over with. So we can expect some, very tight rotations here. Hopefully, we see a good competitive game on Sunday. But I do have two player props I like for this game. So as always, guys, we're going to talk through the two plays I do like for this one. Just before we do get started, make sure you guys hit that like button down below. I always do appreciate the likes. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And if you guys are new to the channel, if you have never checked out Prizepicks before, you can actually sign up for Prizepicks. You can use my promo code NOAH. You do look at the bottom of the screen. When you sign up for Prizepicks with my promo code, you will get your first deposit match up to $100. And I do want to give a shout out to Prizepicks. If you take a look on the screen right now, Prizepicks is actually running a free square promo for this game. So as you can see, Joel Embiid's points prop has been discounted down to 0.5 points. This is a free pick Prizepicks is giving you. Obviously, you're going to take Joel Embiid to have more than 0.5 points, and you just have to find any other pick you like to pair with that. It will have to be a pick that's not on the Sixers. So if you do want to do just a two-pick entry, you can't take like two Sixers players, but you could do a three-pick entry with another Sixers player and then a Celtic player. But if you guys do want to use this free square, I highly recommend you do so. It will be available all the way up until 3:40 Eastern Time when the game tips off. You have a little bit over 24 hours before this does go away at the time I'm making this video. I'm pretty sure it's a $20 limit or $25 limit. I'm not 100% sure. Pretty sure it's like one of the two, and it is on Prizepicks. You don't have to use the all the money on one entry. So if you want to make like 4 different entries and put $5 on each entry, you can do so. It's just once you hit that dollar limit, whether it's like $20 or $25, once you hit that limit, that's when you can't make any more entries with the free square. But you definitely want to take advantage of this free square while it is available. Again, you can make a 2-pick entry with this, or you can make up to a 6-pick entry. You can win up to 25x your money on Prizepicks, and Prizepicks does offer a ton of other sports outside of just NBA. So if you don't want to try and find too many, like if there's not enough plays you like in this one game that you want to take, you could take a look at other sports, NHL, MLB. They do already have props up for Tuesday's game between the Lakers and Nuggets, so you can take a look at those props, see if there's anything you like. But again, guys, if you're not signed up for Prizepicks yet, sign up, use that promo code NOAH, and you will get your first deposit matched up to $100. Now, I do want to recap our plays from our last video that we made on Friday. There was no NBA games on Saturday, so I didn't make a video for Saturday. Well, technically, I'm recording this video on Saturday, but there's no NBA games on Saturday. But I do want to recap the two plays we gave out in Friday's video for that slate, and we did hit one of our two plays, didn't hit both though, unfortunately. We did hit the over on Bam Adebayo's fantasy score. Bam, we took him at 34.5. I think he finished with a little bit over 40 fantasy points. Finally got Bam right. He's a player I just can't ever seem to get right, but he had a really good game Friday night, played really well, went pretty easily over his fantasy score. Unfortunately though, we took the over on Andrew Wiggins' fantasy score, and I'll 100% admit it. I'll definitely admit when I'm wrong, and this was a play that I totally regret. I was watching the game. Wiggins just didn't look healthy. He was not playing well. He was getting subbed out early. He only played like 29 or 30 minutes. And it was just, it was a mistake on my part. I knew Wiggins was questionable heading into that game. We've seen so many times players are on the injury report listed questionable, and then if they play, they're usually good to go. They'll play their normal minutes. If they don't play, well, it'll just get a DMP. I didn't really think, I thought if Wiggins played, there was a good chance if he was playing, he was just going to be, normal minutes. And it was reported that he wasn't really going to be on a minutes limit, but he was clearly not himself. He clearly didn't look right. He was getting subbed out early, only played like 28 minutes, had a pretty bad game overall. Pretty much everyone from the Warriors was horrible on Friday except for Steph. Steph had a good game. He put up like 32 points, but everyone else was bad. And that was a play I definitely regret. Maybe should have looked more into that injury that Wiggins had, because clearly it did affect him. He was not right, didn't look like himself, and we missed that 2-pick entry, unfortunately. But we got one more slate to bounce back, guys, before we head to the conference finals. And let's hope we get a good game on Sunday. Hopefully we get some some competitive basketball. And let's talk through the 2 picks I do like for this game. So obviously the Joel Embiid free square is a pick that you can take, but I do have 2 other props I like from this game. One of them is going to be a fantasy score prop, and I want to talk about Malcolm Brogdon's fantasy score. So this line sits at 24.5 on Prizepicks, and I do like the over here for Malcolm Brogdon. So if you take a look at Malcolm Brogdon's recent games, in this series, he has gone over this fantasy score line in 4 out of his last 5 games. And I think one thing that I really like to see here is that if you look at last game, and obviously last game was a very important game for the Celtics. They obviously needed to win that game to keep their season alive. They did come out and win that game. And if you look at the rotations they ran last game, the Celtics ran a 7-man rotation, which you don't see too often, but especially like late in the playoffs, you will see teams really cut down the rotations and only play like 7-8 guys. And the Celtics ran just a 7-man rotation last game. The 5 starters, Marcus Smart, Robert Williams, Al Horford, Tatum, Brown, played. And then off the bench, the only 2 guys off the bench that played were Malcolm Brogdon and Derek White. And if you look at how the minutes were spread out last game, really big minutes for Marcus Smart, really big minutes for Al Horford, really big minutes for Tatum and Jaylen Brown, kind of as you would expect. And then you had Malcolm Brogdon play 30 minutes, Robert Williams played 27, and then Derek White played 19 minutes. The fact that Malcolm Brogdon got up to 30 minutes last game makes me feel pretty good about him heading into this game and another must-win game. And if the Celtics are going to run a 7-man rotation, it's pretty likely that Malcolm Brogdon's going to play high 20s, possibly 30 minutes once again here. And throughout his career, when he was on the Pacers, when he was on the Bucks, Malcolm Brogdon's always been a good per-minute producer. And so far this season with the Celtics, he's averaged a fantasy point per minute, just over that 1.03 fantasy points per minute. His per-minute production has been a little bit down in the playoffs. He's at 0.92 fantasy points per minute. But again, if we expect Brogdon to play 30 minutes, if we expect him to average right around a fantasy point per minute, I feel like this line of 24.5 is maybe a few points too low here. I feel like this line should be maybe 26.5, 27.5. I definitely think 24.5 is a little bit too low. And if you look at Brogdon so far in the playoffs, he's only gone over this line in 7 out of 12 games. But again, you got to remember, the Celtics really have tightened up the rotation now. They're probably only going to play 7 guys again. I think we can expect Brogdon to play more minutes than he was getting earlier in the postseason. And of the games this season where Brogdon has played at least 30 minutes in the playoffs, he has gone over this line in all 4 of those games. There's been 4 games in the postseason where he's played at least 30 minutes. In those 4 games, he had 29.6, 27.1, 25.2, and 25.4 fantasy points. And then if you look during the regular season, in games where Brogdon played at least 30 minutes, there were 16 games where he played at least 30 minutes. He had more than 24 and a half fantasy score in 14 out of those 16 games. So you look at a large sample size of Brogdon playing about 30 minutes this season. He has gone over 24 and a half fantasy score in a large majority of those games. And again, the Celtics ran a 7-man rotation last game. Brogdon played 30 minutes. I think there's a very good chance that happens again. With this being a must-win game, they really keep things tight. So if we're getting 28, 29, 30 minutes from Brogdon here, 24 and a half fantasy score is a line that I definitely think is a little bit too low. Do like the over here. And then the other play that I like is going to be an assist prop. And I want to talk about James Harden's assist prop of 8.5. Do like the over here as well for James Harden. And we know that James Harden is a guy that's going to facilitate when he's on the floor. You look at his assists lately over his last 5 games. He has gone over this in 4 straight, which obviously you kind of like to see. The assists have been there, but what really stands out is that Harden's potential assists have been really, really high lately. Last game, he had 21 potential assists. I'm pretty sure the game before that, he had 18 or 19 potential assists. So the potentials have been there. He was pretty unlucky to only get 9 assists last game on 21 potentials. He had 12 blown assists last game, meaning when he passed it to a teammate, the teammate missed the shot. That's basically what that means. Really, when it comes to assists, you just got to really hope that the teammates make their shots, because a lot of times, when it comes to a guy like James Harden, the assist opportunities are going to be there. The teammates just have to knock down their shots. But we know the minutes are going to be there for Harden. We know the opportunity is going to be there. Hopefully Tobias Harris, Maxey, Embiid, all these guys can make their shots whenever Harden's assisting on those baskets. But Harden this season, in terms of potential assist, you look at the regular season, like during the regular season, I know things are different now, versus the playoffs, but during the regular season, James Harden averaged over 17 potential assists per game. He was doing that on 36, 37 minutes per game. In the postseason, especially in a must-win game for the Sixers, we're probably going to see Harden play like 42, 43 minutes. Last game obviously was a big game. It wasn't a must-win game for the Sixers, but it was one they really wanted to win. And Harden in that game played 43 minutes. So we're probably getting like 42, 43 minutes from Harden here. When he's on the floor, we know he's going to facilitate. We know he's going to be assisting. You look at DraftKings Sportsbook, this prop is already juiced to minus 130 on the over. So I wouldn't be surprised if this line does get bumped up to 9. If it does get bumped up to 9, you can still take it. There's just a higher chance that if Harden does finish with 9, that'll be a push versus a win. I would like to get it at 8.5, but if it does get bumped to 9, I think it's still fine to play. Just with how many minutes Harden's going to play here, with how many potential assists he's been averaging lately, we just got to hope that his teammates can knock down their shots. If they do, I think Harden's got a good chance to come away with at least 9 assists in this game. So these are technically the 3 props I do like for this game on Sunday, but if you're not counting the free square, got 2 picks for this one. Brogdon over 24.5 fantasy score, and then James Harden more than 8.5 assists. So that's what I'm liking for Sunday's Game 7, guys, between the Celtics and the Sixers. Hopefully we get a really good game on Sunday. I'm excited to watch this one. But yeah, got 2 picks for this one. If you guys are tailing, wish you the best of luck. Make sure you guys sign up for Prizepicks. Use that promo code NOAH. You will get your first deposit matched up to $100 when you do sign up with my promo code. And be sure to take advantage of this Joel Embiid free square. It is available all the way up until tip-off. So you have, at the time I'm recording this video, you have a little over 24 hours until this goes away. Make sure to take that free square. If you want to pair it with the picks I gave out in this video, you can do so. If you want to find some more plays that you like, you can do that as well. Remember, on Prizepicks, you can mix and match sports, so feel free to take a look at their board for all the other sports they offer besides just NBA, if there's other sports you like to look into. But that's all that I got for this slate, guys. Appreciate you watching as always. Hit that like button if you guys enjoyed. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.